Cooper's made quite a few enemies in the corporate sector.
After our meeting yesterday, I can't see Cooper fighting his way out of a wet paper sack, much less run a corporation.
Explain.
He was erratic. He was unstable. He was sitting in the dark with a bottle of water and some handy wipes on the table in front of him. He asked me to disinfect my hands before he'd even talk to me.
A little eccentric, perhaps.
No, a little crazy, perhaps. He nearly flipped his lid when I sneezed in his direction. And he was sobbing like a baby behind a surgical mask when I left him.
The man is losing it.
You know?
Thank you.
You know, there's something else. He had these sores on the back of his hand and around his lips. He looked sick. I mean, if you ask me, I'd say he was on drugs.
Highly unlikely for a man with his ambition. Talia, I need a psych and medical profile on Cooper.
Got it right here, boss. Do you want to know about Cooper's fractured arm in 3rd grade or his tetanus shot his first year at MIT?
Is he currently under psychiatric care or taking any prescription medications?
According to his last physical 6 months ago, he's fit as a fiddle and there's no record of psychiatric care.
Just as I thought. What do we know from the list Cooper's secretary sent over?
The usual corporate backstabbing. The man is completely without morals when it comes to business. There were a few odd things about the list.
Such as?
Well, for one, Francesca Devereaux's name was left off of it.
Wait, isn't she the CEO of Calmatech Technologies?
Very good.
And that's significant. Why?
It took a little digging, but Calmatech attempted a friendly takeover of Graviton about 7 months ago, unsuccessfully.
Seems harmless enough.
Since then, Francesca Devereaux has been soliciting Graviton's shareholders in another attempt to take over, this time hostile.
And who is pulling Francesca Devereaux's strings?
That was the other odd thing. Calmatech is owned by a shadow corporation, and the name Jessica Santino keeps popping up in connection with it, but I haven't been able to pin that name to a face.
So now Cooper's apparently losing his grip on reality for whatever reason, and he can't deal with the apparent takeover.
The secretary left Devereaux's name off the list. That couldn't have been by accident. She could be a player.
And if she is involved, she must have known that leaving Devereaux's name off of the list would draw attention to it and her.
It might be a stall tactic.
It's just too many unknowns.
Let's get one of our doctors over to Cooper's office as soon as possible for a full blood workup.
You think Cooper's being dosed?
It's a possibility.
Atropine in small doses over long periods could account for the sores, the light sensitivity, and even the crazies.
Looks like Cooper might have a double agent in his ranks. Too bad. That secretary, she was one hot number.
If the secretary's playing for the other side, that's the least of our concerns. It's the name without a face we have to worry about.
I'll call Cooper and set up a doctor's visit, and I'll see what I can dig up on this Jessica Santino.
And I'll be at the dojo all day long. I've got a group of kids that need an attitude adjustment. Talk to you later.
Ciao.
Hey, don't forget to check in.
This is Talia Gallo with the Burke Agency. I need to speak to Mr. Cooper immediately. Mr. Cooper, this is Talia Gallo with the Burke Agency. I'm calling to let you know that one of our doctors and a nurse will be paying a visit first thing in the morning. Standard procedure, Mr. Cooper, insurance purposes. Mr. Cooper?